Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamp It Your Way for October. I am Betsy Kreider with Be Creative Stamping.
I'm Mary Ellen Stites from Create With Me. And as usual, I'm always happy to be here with you, Betsy, and with all of you.
Always, always. My favorite time of the month is recording with you and being with you. It's for those that are not familiar with us, we live, I think I've mapped it out. Isn't it like over 600 miles? I think that we live
like
apart from each other.
10 hours away.
10 hours away from each other.
Yeah, and I'm in Illinois. So yeah, it's a little bit of a distance. So it's just like us being together. Yeah.
This is our way of being together with you and sharing what we love. And Stamp It Your Way is all about stamping at home and stamping what you're doing and stamping it your way. We create 4 projects, 2 each, and we love sharing what we do. And we sell kits every month for the Stamp It Your Way. But if you didn't get the kit, that's okay. You can still join in and stamp along with us.
Yeah, I think it's, I always think, I say this, I think every month, but honestly, I designed my cards at a retreat and I was with friends and I'm like, you know how you design your card? And you're like, I don't know. And every single person that has seen that card, especially the one card, you'll see it in a minute. They're always like, oh my God, I love that card. I'm like, really? Like, really? Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe how many people have said that. And then your card, someone picked it up the other day because Betsy sent me her cards and they picked it up and they're like, oh my God, I love this card. So I think you guys are in for a great treat tonight. So, or today.
Absolutely. It's so funny. It's so funny how our tastes are so different. Yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day about color families and things like that and how it can be so different from one color to the other. What we can tend to be drawn towards. So,
yeah,
excellent.
We got our fall on. We got our fall happening.
We do. I wore my plaid. And I have little pumpkin earrings.
Yeah, I've got earrings that you gave me because these are the little flowers that, I mean, the colors aren't fall, but they match my little flowers. I love these earrings, by the way. I wear them all the time.
I got those at a craft fair. There's nothing like buying craft fairs, support your local artists. That's the best thing you can ever do.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, same here. That's where I got mine. It's a little craft fair.
It's so cute.
October is a pretty big month for Stampin' Up. I don't know.
It's the hugest.
Hugest, yes. If you've missed this up to this point, where have you been? Because this month Stampin' Up is offering a deal unlike we have ever seen. Mary Ellen, you've been a demonstrator for how long?
23 years. And I'm sorry if you're watching this in November. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yes, yeah. Because if you missed the deal, we're sorry. But this is an unbelievable deal. So what it is that you get 2 choices. You get 2 choices that you can choose from. So you can choose $125 worth of product and only pay $35 for it.
Yeah.
That's $90 in free product.
And you get to pick out what you want. Yeah, I know.
You get to choose what you want.
It's a no-brainer.
And no shipping. There's no shipping charge. And you get a free paper pumpkin when it comes. It's random, but you get a free paper pumpkin in with it. Now, if you want more, if you like a lot of product, then the other option is that you can choose $189 worth of product and pay $99 for it. You're still getting $90 in free, but you're getting more in that starter kit.
Yeah. So if your wish list is big or you want to take advantage of the free shipping, that's a great way to stock up. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, you can't beat that. I mean, and the nice thing is that Stampin' Up, a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to be a demonstrator because I don't want to be required to do things. Well, the nice thing about Stampin' Up is that you can do it your way. There's no sale requirement. There's no recruiting requirement. There's no requirement whatsoever. You could do this sign up deal, enjoy all the perks of being a demonstrator for the next 6 months, not buy anything, and be dropped as an active demonstrator after 6 months. And nobody's coming after it. There's no downside to this. It's really, truly the best deal.
Yeah. And you can get, a discount up till the end of April. At the end of April, you'll be active and you can get a discount on your product. So, through the holidays or taking advantage of pre-ordering out of the new mini catalog, just like we do. But do you have to be us? No. because there is nobody quite like us.
Very true. Very, very true. We are a unique pair. So the nice thing is that you can enjoy all of those perks. And what we have found is that people are like, oh, well, I feel like I'm being a bad person because I might be taking advantage of this deal. Stampin' Up! Wants you to take advantage of that deal because you might all of a sudden sign up and be like, you know what, I really enjoy this. Or you join my team or you join Mary Ellen's team and you find that there's this inclusion and there's this family that you're signing up with that you don't want to let that go. And you do find that you use that discount more and more than you thought you were going to. And Stampin' Up's very smart in how they do it. I mean, they know what they're doing. They're going to release catalogs in a way where there's pre-orders that you can order that you're going to be like, you know what? I want that because I get to see it early. I'm going to want that. You're going to be placing more orders than you think you will. Right?
But it's not required. It's not required.
It's not.
And you know
It
what?
is not.
Love this. We love this. You're watching us, so you love this hobby. So take advantage.
Exactly. So couple more days, just a couple more days left. That's it. So if you're still watching in October, don't miss that. Reach out to us if you have any questions.
Yeah. Then we have one more kind of exciting thing, and it kind of crosses over, right? Because you could take advantage of this in your starter kit, is what we call it, starter kit. So that's the products that you order. You could pre-order out of the November online exclusives. So our online exclusives come out every 2 months. And so they are coming out in November, usually on the first Tuesday, which I think is November the 4th. And there's a whole bunch of online exclusives. Actually, the ones we're using tonight, this Gathering Moments, that's an online exclusive. So if you don't know what that means, I've had people be like, I don't know, that's exclusive. No, it just means that we have the catalog, which I have over here. We have a catalog. Okay, so we have our mini catalog, which is great. We have our annual catalog. But every 2 months, we're going to refresh that and bring things online. So it just is giving our products a little more heft, right? So there's
giving you more and more to choose from. More and more to choose from.
More online exclusives than anything. So don't miss out. Go shop online. I mean, we're doing it for everything else, right? We're shopping online when we're going to different store sites. So Stampin' Up's just doing the same thing and doing online exclusives. So that is available in your starter kit. Ask one of us. We'll give you the PDF so you can see what's available. But they're coming out, and if you haven't heard, we are changing our stamps and die packaging. Not sad about this. At first, it took me a minute. I gasped a little bit because I'm used to this system over here where I put all my stamps and they're all in DVD cases, and they're on my shelf. So now I'm going to show you. This is an online exclusive coming out. They are going to be in packages like this. So this is a bundle, just like this. This is it.
Can you hold you have that Gathering Moments set. Yeah. Can you hold it next to it? There you go.
So you can see the difference. So this is even smaller than one stamp case. I had 6 in my hand the other day, and it was like 6 bundles. So my plan is I'm going to redo things. It's no big deal. Is that I'm going to keep them together. I have the dies here and the stamps here, and have them in some containers that I can just kind of go through them,
flip through.
What I have. So look through them. Yeah. So I'm kind of happy because it's definitely going to save me on storage space. I mean, come on. So anyway, go ahead.
Love that the dies have an image on the front sheet that you can actually see what the dies are on that very front cover. I love that you can see what the dies are right there.
Yeah. So
they have that artwork.
I can keep my dies inside of this little folder, and then I have
but easily can see what's in there.
Yeah, I can easily see, and then they're not popping off. I mean, they just stay inside here, and I actually put mine on magnet sheets, but you wouldn't have to. You could just drop them into your little pocket. I think they're little folios. So yeah, they're awesome. So
I'm
that's
excited
coming up.
for it. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment as far as storage is concerned, but I'm excited for the change. And
Yeah,
like you said, it's going to take up so much less space, and it's going to
right.
be easy to kind of flip through and keep track of what's coming up. So
Yeah,
as we transition over the next couple of months, as you know, pre-orders coming for those online exclusives, a lot of those stuff's going to be coming out all in the new packaging. So if you get an order in, you might see something come in a DVD case, and you might see something else come in a new package. So everything's going to be kind of transitioning over the next couple months.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Phew. Are we ready to stamp?
Yes, let's do it.
Show you. So this month we are featuring Gathering Moments, which is an online exclusive item. So this was an online exclusive 2 months ago that came out. One of the other things I want to talk about real quick is not only is our packaging changing, but we are also changing and getting rid of any of this cling stamp, right? That has the orange rubber on it, or the red rubber. We will no longer be offering these. It's been hard for manufacturing to get what they need to make these stamps. So everything is going to be converting to photopolymer moving forward. So that's actually also a good thing too. I have not heard anybody complain about that. Everybody loves photopolymer. It's easy to see, and it's so much easier to stamp greetings, things like that. So that's another, I think, really good thing. Okay. I don't know about you. Do you ever use your case to store things? I use my case to store things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, all the time.
I was stamping a bunch of these leaves, and I thought, well, I'm just going to throw them in there. So this is the Gathering Moments set. It's got all of these leaves. This is a distinctive stamp, by the way. So if it looks like it's got lines or variations when you're stamping it, it's meant to look like that. The stamp
Beautiful.
is meant to give it that kind of shadowing detail. So it's
Like
a distinctive
it's
stamp.
like a watercolory look. Yeah, it's really cool.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very cool. It's like people were like, "Oh, that didn't stamp right." No, it did. It's meant to look like that. The dies are pretty different. I mean, at first I was like, why would I ever need a leaf die that's that large? But now I'm like, I've used this so many times. It's ridiculous.
That's all I used on my cards. Honestly, I used all
Yes.
the big ones because
I thought, why
use
would
the
I
same
ever need
way.
this large of a leaf? But I'll tell you what, I can't stop using it.
I
So
know, and then I thought, why do I need that piece? Like, why do I
yeah.
need that? But you're going to see why I needed it
Yep,
today.
you are actually showing how to use that because it's going to punch all these little holes out. And Mary Ellen's going to show you a really cool technique with that. So that's cool. So that's the dies with the suite, because this was a suite that came out. I think it's Gathering Together as the entire suite,
Yes.
Gathering Moments being the set. There are some Cajun Craze and gold dots that came in that suite. And we included, did we include a full pack of this with our kits this month?
Yeah, we sure did.
Okay. All right. And then there's also this really cool embossing folder, even though neither one of us used it on our cards, but there's the Gathering Leaves embossing folder that's part of that suite as well. And I've used it quite a bit. It's very pretty.
I have too. It's huge.
It is huge. It is very, yeah. I mean, it's bigger than a stamp set, you know? So yeah, the folders are nice. And then the paper is really, really nice. So this paper has like a gold layer, a gold, what do you call it? Specialty paper. I can't find my words tonight. You see how it shines?
Yeah.
Okay. So all of these have like a little bit of a gold
accent
detail to them. How about that?
Yeah.
So this one I love. There are 3 different ones that have this leaf. Actually, I think I'm missing one. I think this one's a duplicate of that one. I ended up having to pull my site out because it was like I've used so much of it. It's like, do I have everything here? There are 3 different ones that have the leaves on them, but you can see then also there's the back side that has these rich Cajun craze, your early espresso colors. It's very basic beige. It's very pretty, very rich, very fall. Right?
Very fall. Yep.
Very fall. Very fall. Okay, so let's start with this card. And I actually cased this idea. I saw this online. So it's not originally my idea, but I saw it and I thought, you know what? Everybody needs to make this card. It is so pretty. I just love how it showcases all of that designer series paper and creates almost like that quilted look, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is going to be my first card. And what we're going to use here is we are going to use some basic beige. So I have some basic beige for my card base. I've got some Cajun Craze. That's going to be the layers that are going together. I've got also some more basic beige for the front and for the inside, which I think is this piece. Yeah. Then we included a piece of basic beige for stamping and die cutting, and then a piece of vellum. Now, one of the things that's coming out right now, you might say, well, I didn't see vellum. I don't think we have it. Well, actually, it's coming. So in the online exclusives that are coming, we are going to be getting 12 by 12 vellum sheets.
Yeah, super happy that came back.
Yes, I love vellum. So we included a piece of vellum. We pre-die cut from the Nested Essential dies, one of the thing for the greeting. I have some of the linen thread, the old olive linen thread. By the way, can we just all petition Stampin' Up! To have linen thread in every single color, please?
I love it.
Please. Yeah. I would love that in every color. And then I chose 4 pieces of designer series paper. Okay, so 4 different patterns of the designer series paper, and you can choose any of the 4 that you want, but you want 4 different pieces, and these are 1 5/8 by 2 1/4 is the size on these. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of push this aside, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with this. So I'm going to pull in my paper trimmer. And you could do it all at once if you want to, or if you want to do them individually, you can. It doesn't matter. I'm going to take my 4 patterns, my 4 designer patterns, and I'm going to cut it from the top right to the bottom, top right to the bottom left. I did that backwards. Top right to bottom left. So I'm going this direction. So I'm going to line up the corner of it in my track with the top right to the bottom left. And you just get that lined up. And then you're going to bring in your trimmer. I have an older trimmer because I still have blades and I don't want to give them up yet. Let's see if I can line that up. It's going to fight with me. Come here. When you do something like this where you're cutting from corner to corner, it sometimes works better if you put your blade down into the paper first, not starting right at the edge, because it can kind of bung up the edge. I want to say booger, but that's not a very nice term to use, but it's gonna mess up the edge of your paper. So what I want to do is I want to start there and I want to bring it down, and then I'm going to bring it back up towards the top so that I get these triangles, right? So now I have, whoops, that one didn't go. I wasn't sure if I was going to need to do that again, but I can pull it. There we go. So now I have all of these triangles, but what I want to do is I'm going to use both sides. So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to use that one, and this one, this one, this one, and then that one. So I now have all of those different patterns. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to put that aside for a second. And I'm going to show you how to put that together. So I'm going to bring in one of the pieces of my basic beige. And the easiest way I found to do this, okay, let me pull all these together, because there's a lot of angles. And it's like, okay, how do I put these angles on here? I found the easiest way to do it was to start at the bottom and create this bottom 2 pieces, because you're going to have a straight line here and you're going to have a straight line there, so that those 2 are going to go together like that. So I can line those 2 up first like that. And then what I want to do is find the top 2 pieces. And again, because they have a straight line, it's easy for me to kind of line them up. So it's going to go like this. Don't worry about your gap in the middle, because that's going to mostly be covered up by the greeting. So we want to kind of worry about the border that's going around the edges to make sure that those line up. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to go ahead and start to adhere these. Right, got that. I'm going to see where center is here. Liquid glue is nice in this case because it allows you to kind of shift everything a little bit if you need to. It doesn't adhere right away, so that I know that if I want to shift it apart, I can. So I'm leaving a little gap in between. I'm kind of bringing that over here a little bit. Actually, this comes this way. This one should come this way. Come here. I think it'll be fine. Close enough. All right. And then this guy is going to come up here. They're going to go together like this. I'm trying to keep the border at the top around the same as what I did the border at the bottom. This one's coming in beside it. Easy, right?
Yeah, I was really wondering how you were going to do it because sometimes it gets confusing, but you're making it seem so easy.
I had to play with it a little bit. And once I figured out that if I did the straight lines first, that was a little easier for me because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in like this, right? So that's going to go there. This one's going to go here. So you see how the straight lines start to help you to kind of put it back together.
Right.
Oops. So I'm going to do this one. And there's no right way or wrong way to do it. You're just kind of putting it together. Try to, again, keep an eye on your border around the edge. I'm going to bring this one in.
Now, do you have to do it, like, okay, let's say the next two pieces. Could you put the Cajun Craze one diagonal to the other one? Would that work, or does that not? Could you put it down or no? Oh, no, because it would have to be flipped.
So you see how that one, see how it kind of, so it'd have to go like this, right? And then this one would be, see how that one's going to match up, right?
I see.
So you see how like it is. It's like playing with it. It's like, okay, well, if I want my straight edges to go together, well, that doesn't work because that goes off the side of my card, right?
Right. Okay.
Whereas this goes this way, and then this will go. See, and sometimes I have to play with it myself. Go back that way.
Okay, yeah, that answered my question.
Yep. It's just a matter of kind of like lining up those lines and seeing
Like
which way is it going to.
Yeah, a little puzzle.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yep. It's just a little puzzle to put together. And again, don't worry about the larger gap in the middle. You're worried about more the lines around the outside.
Yeah,
because that gap's going to be covered.
Yeah, quilters would be in heaven with this card. They would be like, yeah, duh, I know it.
Yep, exactly. They'd be looking at it going, I know where that goes. That makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, completely.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. It's pretty, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this piece, what we're going to do is we're going to stamp, and I've already gone ahead and done a little bit of this ahead of time, so I went ahead and did this. But I do want to show you what I did with this piece, okay? I wanted to have more variation of color. So what I did was I took my Cajun Craze, actually I started with a Darling Duckling first. So I'm going to take Darling Duckling, and I'm going to stamp the leaf with Darling Duckling. But before I stamp it, I'm going to bring in Cajun Craze, and you could use a sponge dauber or you could use a blending brush. And I'm going to pick up some of this ink on my blending brush, and then I'm going to blend that in to the edges of my leaf. Okay. So, and that way, then when I stamp, I get a variation of color. You see it?
Yeah.
So you get that two-tone look. So you got a little bit of yellow, the duckling in the center, and then you got the Cajun Craze coming over. And that's what I've kind of gotten here. Okay. Yeah. So you're going to stamp those and then die cut those out. Okay. For the greeting, I did use the gather. You could use any of the greetings that are in this set. There's some really nice ones, by the way, like your friendship means the world to me, expressing heartfelt gratitude. There's a lot of really good ones. This one's cute with the gather. So I'm going to use that on this pre-die cut nested essential die. And I'm just going to stamp that right in the center here. Cute. And then I'm going to create my card base. So push all that aside. Bring in my layers. So this is going to go together with the Cajun Craze background. And then this one is going right on the front. I went ahead and with the vellum, I went ahead and I cut this leaf pattern out. So when I did that, I actually used both dies at the same time. So I used both of these and I lined them up on here and I cut them both at the same time. And you can sometimes just use like a little bit of tape or washi tape to kind of hold them together when you run that through. And when you do, you'll get this. So it's got all those holes already. It just gives it a little bit of detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this will cut out the image and then the center one will make all those little detailed holes. So you're going to cut that out. And I want to add this to my center. And vellum you want to be careful with because adhesive can show through on your vellum. So instead of, all I need, I'm going to use a little bit of tear tape in this case. Sheesh, I'm dropping everything. I'm going to use a little bit of tear tape right in the center here. Okay. Because that's what I'm going to use to adhere my leaf down. Because I don't really need adhesive the whole way around because obviously this is going to help hold it as well. So I'm just using a little bit of tear tape right in the center. So now my leaf is attached. I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of this to add this to my front. And the other thing that I've started doing, it used to be that I always did, when I was using linen thread, I was always attaching the linen thread to the back of this. I've learned a new way of doing this. I'm going to use tear tape again. And this time I'm going to put tear tape right here in the center. Okay. And now I'm going to use that tear tape to help me put on my linen thread.
I'm
So
always
I want
learning new
to
things from you. I love
spin
it.
it. I want to spin it this way. And the tear tape's going to hold it in place for me without me having to bunch it up behind there. And I feel like I have a little bit more control over it because I can feed it whatever way I want to feed it. Okay.
And
get
even though you think of tear tape as being so permanent, with that you could easily just peel it off.
right.
If you wanted it different. So
Yep.
love
So
it.
doing it that way then I think sometimes it doesn't create the bulkiness that what I was finding behind my greetings. By attaching it to my greeting, I was finding it would like bulk it up. This way I can go right over top of that and I don't have any kind of an issue. It's already stuck down using that tear tape. Isn't that easier?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm using that. Stealing
Yeah,
that from you.
I've been doing that more and more the last couple, and everybody at class was like, that is so much easier to put, because everybody's like, I never get the loops right, or it doesn't come through right. And this gives you more flexibility of using it, right?
Definitely.
All right. So I'm going to add just going to add my leaves here. Around my little gather. You could probably pop a dimensional behind him if you wanted to. So there's my front, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring in my dots here, and I'm going to add some of these Cajun Craze dots.
Look at you going hog wild.
I know. You have to have some bling on there. You know what I mean? Gotta get some bling on there.
Oh, sure.
Life's too short. Add the bling. And then for the inside, what I did was I stamped a leaf and I stamped the little mushroom. Pretty easy just to do the inside. How about that?
Love it.
Right? Quick,
Yeah.
easy, not too hard. It's just a matter of cutting that designer series paper a certain way and getting it on there, right?
Yeah, it looked hard, but you made it seem easy.
It's super easy. Super, super easy. Okay. All right. Moving on to card number 2, another very easy one. Okay, let me move this stuff out of my way so that I don't put my hand in my ink pad, which has been known to happen. All right. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm happy that I did it. It's an easel card, right? So with the easel card, get this out of my way as well. With an easel card, I was always like, oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. It's actually very easy. I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. So this is the front of my card. And what happens is that this piece bends right here. Okay. And when that bends, this stands up. So let me show you. You see it?
Yeah.
So there's the easel. It is super easy to do. I'm going to show you how easy that is just to make that happen. All right, so I've got a piece of Cajun Craze cardstock, your normal card base, 8.5 by 5.5.
I'm pretty sure that's not Cajun Craze, but
No, what did I say? Crushed curry. Thank you. Cajun Craze, crushed curry, they're all C's. You get me.
that's right. I got you.
It's been a long month. Okay. Crushed curry.
Sorry.
I'm going to fold it in half. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top and I'm going to fold it in half again. So I'm folding it down into the fold mark, okay, of the card. So if I fold it down like that, then I know it's kind of folding in where it should, so that I now have this. Okay, and there essentially is your easel. For the front, what I have is I have a piece of early espresso that is 5 by 3 3/4. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take that large leaf die and you're going to cut that leaf out. Okay. And then save your leaf for something else that you can use that for. But you're going to cut that out of that 5 by 3 3/4 piece. And this piece of designer series paper is going to go behind it.
Oh, I love it.
Right? So that you've got that window coming through.
Yeah.
So what I do is I add a little bit of glue just kind of around where I know that that is going to match up. And then add that like that.
Are those both the same size? Do they have to be the same size?
This is a little smaller. You see it?
Oh,
just
look at that.
slightly smaller. So this I did 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. So it's just slightly smaller. Boy, did I line that up or what?
I was
Look at
just
that.
sitting here like in awe. I'm like, what the heck? Why didn't you turn it over? I would have never been able to do that. You are amazing.
I don't know that I would have been able to do it again if I tried.
I don't know how you did it, but I'm giving you a high five.
I nailed that right on. Woo.
Virtual high five, girl. Yeah.
I better go play the lottery. I'm telling you. All right. This piece is now going to go onto a Cajun Craze layer. How about that? Now I got the colors right.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, Cajun Craze. And for this one, I wanted to adhere it here. Now, I find it easier to kind of adhere it while it's closed because I want to make sure I'm centered the whole way around the card front. But I'm only adding adhesive down here. So instead of putting it on the back of this, I'm actually going to put it here. Now, don't go all the way to the edge because your card doesn't go all the way to the edge, but I'm adding a little bit of extra adhesive because I know that this is going to be moving as it's being open and closed. So I'm going to add the adhesive right to the card base and then line up where I want that to go. And then just kind of hold that a second to make sure it is stuck. And there is your, then you're guaranteed not to get glue anywhere where you don't want it. Okay. Yeah. For the inside, what I did was I took my little mushroom and my little leaf. I got the wrong leaf out. Give me a second. Not that it matters. I think they all kind of interchange. So I took this leaf with some crushed curry. Whoops. We have a piece that we gave you for stamping and die cutting. So you're going to stamp out Cajun craze leaf, a crushed curry leaf. I did a little crumb cake acorn, and then I also did a Cajun craze mushroom. CC, 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 and CC. Right?
Yeah.
So you're going to stamp all of that and die cut that out. For the inside, though, what I wanted to do is kind of have an area where it's going to prop up. So I'm going to add the crushed curry leaf, and I'm going to put that right about there. Okay. And I'm also, I have a little piece of designer series paper that I wanted to have it kind of coordinate together. So I just have a little strip that I'm going to put for my inside here. And then this goes on the other piece of Cajun craze. And then this is going to go in the inside. To allow the easel to kind of pop up for me, what I want to do is when I add the mushroom, I'm going to add dimensional to the back of it so that it sits higher. Okay. I'm going to put that just so that they goes there. And then that allows the easel to sit and rest against that piece.
It's so nice when your recipient gets it and they can kind of pop it up and just sit it on their table or their, you know, side table or coffee table.
Right.
Enjoy it, their desk. Yeah.
I agree. All right. I think I'm going to use many thanks on this one. I think the greeting might be a little large, but we're going to go with it. I used thankful for you on this one. Okay. But I'm going to use many thanks on this one. Let's see how this works. I'm winging it. I'm going to go ahead and do many thanks here. Cut my little many off a little bit, but that's all right. I don't mind it. I don't hate it. So I'm going to create my flagged end. And then I brought in this gold, mesh gold ribbon. It is so pretty to work with. And I want to actually put that together like that. I'm going to put it behind it. So I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to use dimensionals to help kind of hold that in place. I'm going to do it down towards the bottom of my greeting. And I'll tell you why here in a second. I'm just putting them down at the bottom. I don't need them at the top. So it's just lapping over that ribbon a little bit. So that when I put it on here, like that. So that now when I bring these pieces in, I'm going to go ahead and use a dimensional on the back of this one and a dimensional on the back of this one. And I'm going to leave going to kind of, so if I put dimensionals at the top, I wouldn't be able to tuck, right? Whereas if I don't put dimensionals at the top of that greeting, now I can kind of tuck these down in behind it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to do it this way. And then this guy, I am going to add a dimensional to him. He's going to kind of sit and kind of choose where you want him to go. He's just going to kind of sit there, right?
Cute.
I'm going to bring in my gems again. And I'm going to add one up here and here, and then maybe right there. How's that?
Very nice.
Isn't that cool? And then, of course, you can do your envelope to match so that you've got your little easel.
Love it.
That's it. Quick and easy, right? That's how we like it.
Okay, so now it's my turn. So I'm going to show you my cards, and this is the first one that we're going to be doing. Let me hold it up for you. It's just it opens up a little bit different. I mean, it opens up normal, but it's just like kind of a, I don't know, a half card or something.
It's so pretty. Oh my
goodness. Then you can see the little designer series paper both on the outside and the inside. And then instead of using a layer, I just use one of the die cut oak leaves for the inside. So I just thought it was fun. So I'm going to show you how to do this fun stitching and kind of distressing look. Okay. So what you're going to have in your packet, or what you're going to need to create this card, is a piece of crushed curry, not Cajun craze. I almost said it. I'm not kidding you. I almost said it. Crushed curry. And
it's not that easy, is it?
I know. You're right. You're right. It's not your standard size. So it is 4 1/4, but it is only 9 inches long. Okay. It's not 11. So keep that in mind if you are doing this on your own. You're going to need a couple pieces of designer series paper. You'll need a little piece of basic white to stamp your greeting, a little piece of white to die cut your oak leaf, okay, for the inside. And then you'll need a piece of mossy meadow for your outside. Wait, I think it's this one. Or these are two different, yeah. We gave you two different sizes. So this is the narrower, that's your layer. And then this one is for die cutting and using the stitching. So like Betsy said, when you do it, you're going to lay down your die, and then you're going to place this on the inside. And you can use a little bit of tape or whatever works for you to kind of get it centered. As long as you're not putting metal over metal, it doesn't matter if it's close here and farther here. See how like this one's bumped up? You just don't want to die cut it if you're like that, because then you're going to ruin that edge of your die. So as long as it's in the floating in the center, it doesn't matter if it's pushed up, pushed down, it doesn't matter, because remember, these are only stitch marks. Okay, so what you're going to end up with is two pieces, one for the inside, and then this one that has the little stitching on it. Okay, but we're going to play with this a little bit before we do anything. So what we're going to do is, what I like to do to give this a little bit of distressing is, I'm going to take a spritzer, and I'm going to take always have a paper towel handy for this, I think. Just because you don't want to make a big mess. And that's why I'm doing this card first, because my other card is kind of more messy. So I got it nice and wet, and then I'm just going to crumple it. I'm going to crumple it all up, give it some marks on there, and get it all distressed. And then I'm going to get it all out. So you can see already, I think you can see already how it's kind of, it dries pretty quickly. You can see it's kind of drying, but there's it kind of gives it dimension, and it gives it stress.
Oops,
Yeah, I think
you
I went
paused
out.
on me there.
I
You
paused
paused on me a little bit.
Yeah, just for a second. You're going to get a nice leaf that is just distressed. So see, it's got some kind of like a topography, right? It's really nice. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your linen thread, and we're gonna do a back stitch on this leaf. So I've already started it, so you don't have to watch me do it because it does take a little bit of time. But I do want to show you, if you're not familiar with needlework, what a back stitch is. So we're just gonna come up through the hole, and then we're gonna go down. I'm gonna try to do this where I'm up in the air. See
Are
how
you
I've
just
got
using
my,
a regular needle, or is there a certain kind of
so
needle
I
you use?
got, so you're going to want a needle that has a large eye. Okay, can you
Okay,
see? Hold on, let me.
I see it. Yep, I can see it.
So it might be a needlework type of needle. I have a couple here that are, I just taped them to the side. So you can see the eyes are big, but now these in comparison are much, much finer. So it doesn't have to be a
Okay.
big darning needle like this, but it does have to have a bigger eye to be able to have the linen thread go through. And I just put my, if you weren't here last month, I put my linen thread in a little salt shaker, a little spice jar, and it just keeps it from unraveling all over my desk.
I had
So,
one do that the other day, and I ended up taking the whole thing apart and redoing it because it just would
right.
not come apart
Yeah, and
correctly.
that
Yeah,
this is really keeping that from happening. So a back
nice.
stitch, if you're not familiar, is just coming up away from your stitch and then going back into the hole that you just came through. Okay, so now I'm going to come up over here. Am I doing that on camera? And
Nice.
then I'm going
Yeah.
to come back down through that hole. So that's how we're going to back stitch it. And then we can tie it off, or we can tie it on the back. I think I'm just going to take my snips here. Just, you could do it however you want. I would probably normally just put a little bit of tape, but since these are both hanging here, I'm
So
just
at the
going to
very
knot
so the
them.
very first one, the hole that you went in first,
Yeah.
you just left like a tail, right? So you just
Right.
left a long
Yeah,
tail. You
and
didn't.
you could, if you, I kept mine on my bolt, but
Hmm.
you could just tie a knot. I did that because I wasn't sure like where I what how much exactly I needed. So,
Hmm.
but you could just go ahead and cut it. So, and then just tie a knot, and a double knot probably would be enough to um, hold that. And then I'm going to take another maybe 8 or 10 inches. And if I had left this on the needle, it would have made it a lot easier. But I'm going to just come through. I want to tie a little bow. I might just put that on my needle and go through there so that, hold on, you got to wet your, I'm just doing that because I think it'll, I just pulled it right back through. When that went in perfectly, I just think it would be a lot easier there.
There you go. Yeah.
Pull it through. And then just tie a fun bow, just like that.
Cute.
Okay. And that just finishes off the little bottom. That's pretty, it takes a
Mhm.
little time, but it just does
Mhm.
show a fun little
Cute.
element. So, and then this will dry. This will dry when it gets all the same color. Then this one's ready to stitch. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to put our card here. So that's the hardest part. So we're going to score it at, okay, so you're going to score it at 5.5 inches, regular card base, 5.5 by 4.25, and it's going to leave you a little fold over just like that. So I'll get my bone folder and give that a nice little crease. And then I'm ready to put my little pieces together. I got to make sure I've got the right layers here. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this. I got to find my glue. Put it on my mossy meadow. Okay, and then just like Betsy's, you're going to only want to put glue on this top side. So it is really easier if you just glue it there. Make sure you're not
Mhm.
going all the way to the edge. You just want to go equal distance all the way around. just like that. And so that's your kind of fun fold, just like that. Then I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper, and I do really love that gold. You can really see it shimmer.
It is
That
very
gold,
pretty.
it's so pretty. And I want to put this on my inside, and it goes from edge to edge all the way down to the bottom, because that's the way we will be able to see it shine through on the other side, just like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of stamping, and then I'll add my leaf. So I'm going to use the many thanks on mine on the inside in Cajun Craze. And I know my leaf is going to be on an angle, so I'm going to kind of bring my words on a little bit of an angle, because my leaf's going to be on an angle, and that way my words are straight. Okay, does that make sense? Whoa. So that's the inside, and it's just a little different. I
I like that.
having
It
the
doesn't
little
always have to be your traditional layers in the inside. I like that.
Yeah, really, really fun. So the most important thing is just to make sure you haven't, tucked it out the sides. It's not that hard to do. So then I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp my outside, and I'm doing expressing heartfelt gratitude. Again in Cajun Craze, and I think I'm done with the Cajun Craze. And I'm going to actually take my snips, and I'm going to quickly, literally, I want to cut out the words. If I kept it on this, I just felt like if I kept it, and when I do words like this, I'll just do a little zigzaggy. I'm not worried about going exactly. But if I would have kept the piece big as I needed, it would have distracted a little bit from the actual leaf and the detail in the leaf. So don't hesitate to take a second to literally, like, just wiggle, go around those long ones. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to have, you're getting the bulk of the basic white off of there. Now you could leave this just white. I'm gonna get a little more color off of that. But I decided to I'm going to do this one a little different, because when I did that one, and I was at that retreat when I designed it, my friend said, well, that's super yellow. So I'm going to try it with just highlighting with a little sponge dauber the edges. I think that I'll like that a little bit better. I just felt like it needed the background. See, there I go again, crushed curry. I know.
Jinxed it.
Did. So see how there's the difference. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit there, and then I'm going to add little splatter. On this card, I use basic black. On this card, I'm going to use a pecan pie blend, and I'm gonna bring in this just so I don't splatter my whole thing. And I'm just going to use the tip of this, and I'm just adding a little bit of splatter. Can you see that?
It's pretty.
Super, the key is super light on your tip. You don't want to destroy your tip of your, you definitely don't want to destroy the tip of your blend. So now it's all we have to do is put it together. So it looks like a big fat mess right here, but that's the back. And I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals. So you could have used your dimensionals to hold those. If you didn't want to string it back and forth and use so much of the linen thread, which I didn't really mind. It's inexpensive enough, but I'm going to use a lot of these because I'm picking up all those different topographies. Does that make sense? Go. What were
So one of my besties is a big cross stitcher, right? So she Jackie cross stitches like crazy.
Right.
And her back is as clean as her front.
Wow.
So when you look at her cross stitching, it's like the back is just as pretty as the front. It's like, it's insane how detailed she is. It's crazy.
Wow.
She does an amazing job.
Yeah. No, when I've looked, I've done cross stitch or not was in a big cross stitcher, but I did needlework, and yeah, my backs were not pretty, but I just figured no one's going to see them. But
Nobody's gonna see it. What's it matter? Yeah, Jackie's just major
way
detailed. She's
better
so good
than
at what
me.
she does.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm popping that up to keep that same kind of dimension, and then I'm just going to put one dimensional down here on the end, that part that kind of goes off the edge, and then the rest of this I'm just going to use my liquid glue just a little bit to add my greeting, because I should take the backing off. And I'm going to put it right there.
Isn't that pretty? It's very pretty.
So pretty, so pretty. And then I'm going to bring in my Cajun Craven gold dots. And my take your pick tool. I've got one there. This one is, the dot just came off just a little. I like to use one of each size. So there's, that went together pretty quickly, but I also did have it dried. You know, it takes time to dry, and then I did have it stitched. So expressing heartfelt gratitude, many thanks. So that's card number 1. And then, of course, stamp your envelope just to match. So I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to bring in my packet for card number 2, and hopefully it will go together just as quickly. I don't know. This is the one that I wasn't sure about, and people were like, no, I absolutely love that card. Now, they love that.
This one's my favorite. This one is, this one's my
let me just
absolute
ask
favorite.
you, is it because of the colors? They're like a little non-traditional color. Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. I did use
the folder.
I'm thinking, I don't think I put that in my tutorial. I don't know. Maybe no, I can't think about that. I will fix it if I didn't. But yes, okay, I did use folder. But on this card, I'm not going to use a folder because I'm not prepared for that. So anyway, what you're going to need is you're going to need your card base, which is, whoops, we need that. And we need that. Okay, so we're going to use Lost Lagoon. I use Lost Lagoon 4 1/4 by 11. So I'm using the full one. A little bit of Pretty Peacock, some of that beautiful designer series paper that we run through a folder if you'd like to have the texture. I don't know how I didn't catch that this today when I was cutting, but I'm going to leave it plain today.
You could do it either way. Yeah, I think it goes either way.
Yeah, and then you need a piece to cut your leaf. But I wanted to color it first before I cut, because then I never know where my color is going to go. And then you need a piece of basic beige for the inside. So let me get my card kind of put together, and then I will work on the detail on the leaf that makes the card shine. So I'm going to add my designer series paper, my Pretty Peacock layer. This has got a lot of texture in it already, this paper, and you can't, it's hard to see, but there is a really subtle leafy background. I know it just looks kind of plain, but there is really a fun texture on it. So, and then this is a really tight layer. It is literally 1/8 of an inch. So super, super tight layer. It gives you just a really fun frame. Okay. And then on the inside, I just stamped with my, I'm going to use Lost Lagoon. And I use the words, your friendship means the world to me. You could use Pretty Peacock on this too. And then I'm going to take this fun little leaf, and I'm just going to make a little border by rotating my stamp back and forth, just like that. Okay, so it's just a fun, kind of a fun, bouncy little border. I think while I have the, I think I'm going to use Pretty Peacock on the front. So I'll just add this to my inside. Keep you on suspense on all the detail-y part, but so there's the basics. Okay, so how do we do this? And there is some steps to it, and you can decide if you want to add more, take away. There's a lot. So let me just start with some coloring. So we're going to use soft sea foam, Lost Lagoon, and maybe Pretty Peacock. We'll see. That's a judgment I'm going to wait and make when I get there. So I'm going to start first with my soft sea foam. And all I'm doing, it doesn't have to be, I don't have to worry about going off, because this is one of those techniques where I just add some random color, whether it's dark or light, it doesn't matter, because it just is there. Does that make sense? Like
it'll all come together in the end. Yeah.
So having the blotchiness is kind of part of the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there, and I can always add more if I need to. And then I'm going to go with my Lost Lagoon. Trying to decide if I want to add the Pretty Peacock. I don't know. It
might be too dark. You worried about it being too dark?
I might try some on the edge. I'm going to try some on the edge up here, because I know I'm not going to be die cutting that.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Let's add a little. Let's just it's actually pretty close to the other, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to kind of get a fun effect when you, I'm going to stop there. I think that's good. You're going to get a fun effect here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of water. I think that this will work. I've got my water painter, and I'm going to get a little water in my hand, and I'm going to just splatter. And sometimes it takes a minute. I can see it, but I don't know. I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. This is just the first technique. I'm going to take my paper towel. I should move that out of the way.
Is it better to use water versus alcohol?
Yes, for this I prefer water on because these are water based, so the water will pull the. If I was using an alcohol ink, then it might be different. Can you see the dots?
I can see them.
Okay, so now that's fine, but I want to add more dimension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little block, and this is just because that's me. And I'm going to take a little bit of the basic white ink refill. This is a craft ink. And again, I'm going to use this. I would probably normally take maybe an old paintbrush or something, because this will, if you don't get it clean right away, it will kind of leave a little bit of a mess, but we're going to clean it. So I'm adding water to it. See what I'm doing here?
I keep one of my painters designated just for the white.
Just for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm going to try to pick up a bit of the white, and I'm just tapping it. See how I'm tapping it?
I love that look.
Tapping it on my finger. I'm going to hold that up for you. It just adds a little bit. You can see it, especially in here. I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit bigger, intense color there.
Very pretty.
But I am going to squeeze this to get some of that white out, because I know I'm going to be talking for a little bit, and I do not want that to ruin my water painter. And I think I'm just about there. Pretty happy with that. And then take that and wipe my surface off. So it just adds a little bit of white along with a little bit of dots. You can see on this one, I did bigger drops. You could do that by just squeezing water into your hand, and then you can just drop it kind of in big drops with your fingers, and that should kind of have the color bleed a little bit in bigger spots. Okay,
that's smart. I didn't know to do that. I thought you were doing it with the brush.
You could do it with you know, just have a little bit of water in a cup and kind of pick it up and kind of go like that. But you can see already some of those bigger spots coming out. I'm going to clean this up while it's fresh. Okay. All right. So now we've got this. So now it's time to die cut it. Okay. So now I die cut it. Now I die cut the leaf, and I did not use the stitching. I just used the outside outline, just like that. So then you've got that pretty, you've got texture, you've got color, different colors, and then you've got that little bit of white added
It's
onto it.
That's very, very pretty. And you could easily, if you're not a non, if you don't like the non-traditional color, you could easily do this with the Cajun craze and the crushed curry and a crumb cake, and you could do the exact same colors, just change them out. Just, the exact same technique, but change out your colors.
That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think I want one more. Why not go big or go home?
You never have too many dimensionals. Never, ever.
I'm learning that. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to lay that onto my card, just on a little angle like that. And I probably should have put my twine on first, but I'm going to put it on now. I don't think I can get up under there without, no, I'm not going to risk it. I'm
Could just tie a bow, right?
I could just tie a bow. I don't really mind if I have it underneath. It's fine. So I probably should have told you, just wait and let me get that evened out. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, I would have done it under the pretty peacock, but I got overly anxious.
It's all right.
You could, sometimes I do this at class and my customers say, do you have dental floss? You can get under it with dental floss. I don't know. I've not done that. Have you done dental floss?
I have not. No.
Yeah.
I have not done it. I'm like you. I would have just been like, all right, I'll just make it work.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. I'll just make it work.
Exactly
If I messed it up, it's fine.
Oh, I just used linen thread too.
Yeah, aren't you using the
Yes, I
pretty
know.
thread, right?
Just ignore me. It was sitting there. That is not what I want. I want this beautiful gold and white trim.
Yes.
Goodness, because that goes right with my front. So
and that's part of the modern Christmas suite,
yes,
right?
it is. Yes, it is. And we've included a piece of that in your packet. So
it's very pretty.
Yes, it's gorgeous. I have used, there's a gold and a white, and there's a black and a white, and or black and gold. I'm sorry, gold, white and gold, black and gold. Okay, so I'm going to probably end up having to move that bow over a little bit, and since I have it right on my inside, I can do that. Except it's not the card's problem. It's my bulky fingernails right now problem. They are quite square. So now all I need to do is my greeting, and we're going to hope this works, because I'm going to be honest with you. My stamp set, I probably should have called about it, but my stamp
cut
set
off a
is
little.
way off. So I'm going to try. And I think I have to be way down here. It's crooked a little bit, but we'll just place it on crooked.
Well, the nice thing about that is that we're not going to have to worry about that anymore with it being miscut like that.
I know.
Yay!
Yeah, I know. Okay, couple of dimensionals and then some loose gold sequins. And I chose to use loose gold sequins on this because of all the gold that I have in my designer series paper and in my twine. I could use a Cajun, but remember, we're doing a kind of a non-traditional color, so I didn't really want the Cajun things. But Betsy had taught me a long time ago about the you putting, and I've been saying this like crazy to my customers, like put your glue dots on there, dots of glue, and just let it sit for a minute. Now she would probably let it sit a bit longer than I am today, because you have time, but I don't have time. So I'm going to actually bring in my sequins, and if you let it sit, it gets tacky and they don't slide all over the place. I'm going to turn that one over.
It doesn't slide quite as much.
They don't slide. That's right.
Yeah, that's
and again,
pretty.
I'm using one of each size. And that's my card. Other than the fact that I embossed this to give it a little more texture.
But I
That's
think you're fine either way. I don't think you need the embossing. I think it's good either way. It's very
and I
pretty.
guess I did 3 here and I did 4 here, but I like them both.
Yep.
So yeah, yes, you can see, you have a little bit cleaner inside. I mean, I'm going to tell tales on myself, but
Yep.
that doesn't hurt my feelings. So
Nope.
so I like when I'm showing you guys that I'm doing things a little different, whether it's on the greeting and showing you what it looks like here, or embossed, not embossed, just a little bit different. So there's my cards
That's
now.
because they're going to be
Yeah.
stamping at home. This is
Oh,
Stamp
they're
It Your
almost
Way. We named it
right.
that for a reason. Stamp
That's
it your
right.
way, folks. We want
I'm
to
gonna
see what you're making.
Yeah, I'm gonna clear my desk because I want to show you what we're going to be doing next month. Are you ready to take a look?
Yeah, next month. So, gosh, that's going to be
November.
November,
Yeah.
right? Oh
So
my goodness
November, so of
gracious.
course November, we got to focus on Christmas or
Mhm.
the holidays. So we're going to use the Traditions of Christmas suite and the Christmas greenery bundle. We're going to focus on the Christmas greenery bundle, I believe.
Mhm.
Were we going to maybe interject some of the traditional labels?
We are, yes.
Okay, so I think that's fine because usually when people buy it, they buy it as a suite collection. So you can see you've got the traditional labels, the Christmas greenery, and then I've got the products here. So I'll just show you everything. So you've got this beautiful ribbon, and my desk seems a little dark right now. I'm gonna see if I can bring this lamp over. It's got this great shimmer to it.
It does. It's so
Super
pretty in
shimmery. I know
person.
you can't really see it that great there. These traditional sparkling sequins, and they're not a traditional sequin. They're more like a dot. But what's
Mhm.
nice about them is they're completely flat. So
Mhm.
people are. I was doing a class for Christmas cards, and I said, "Well, we're going to put these gems on it," and they go, "Oh no, I don't want any. I can't mail it." And I said, "No, no, these you can. They're completely
Mhm.
flat." And they're like, "Oh, bring them on." So they were
Yep.
very, very happy. They're very happy. So here's the 2 bundles. I've got Christmas greenery, and here's the dies that go with it. Christmas greenery, there's 12 dies. And then the traditional labels, and then here's the different labels that go with it. And then a folder. I love this folder. I've used it like crazy. It is a giant wreath, but I've used it in, I'm going to grab a paper so you can see it. I would put my card base in it, or my layer,
Mm.
if you can
Isn't that
see it.
pretty?
And what
Oh
it
my
does is it
goodness.
just adds texture, like your images here, it adds texture all the way around. Now, whether that's what I do next month or not, I don't know. But here's always, we love the paper, right? This is always the star of the show. So let me get this out of the way.
Yeah, I'll be honest, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, the flowers aren't really for me. But the more
I
I
know.
keep working with this, I am loving these colors.
Let me show you the backs. I say the backs because these are the
Yeah,
more plain, the patterns. You've got some of the secret C's, some cherry cobbler, some old olive. This is probably my favorite. I've used it like on
me
everything. There's
too.
the blue, the red, and
Me
the green
too.
there. Then another old olive pattern. So those are your pattern sides. And then these are I do like this one.
The
I do,
specialty
I
side.
do. I tell you, it's
It's
so beautiful. So
so
beautiful. So
pretty.
these are the gold. These all have gold accents. So you got poinsettias and different flowers. Kind of fun adding that pool party in there. It's a little
Mhm.
non-traditional.
Yep.
This is but the dies cut this out, right? I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure they do.
They do.
I
Yep.
think they cut that little bouquet out so you could get all
Hmm.
lots and lots of bouquets. I'll be doing that tomorrow for a class. Here's some beautiful paper that there's more white background.
The
Here's
dies cut that other one too. The one you just had.
this one.
Yeah, the
Oh
dies
no,
cut that one
yeah,
too.
it's this. They did.
Yep.
They cut that. It
Yep.
almost looked like it was an overall design, but did they cut this little one too?
I don't remember that one. I know it cuts the
I
big
can
one
look.
out.
Yeah, yeah, they
Hmm.
might. Well, they cut this one here, but no, they
Yep,
don't have
that's the
that.
one.
Doesn't have
Yeah,
the
the big one.
okay. And then this has got the pink, which is a non-traditional. It's fun because you've got the red, the gold, and then you've got a pink in a pool party. So super, super
Mhm.
fun. So yeah, so I'm super excited about that.
If anybody, if you are the cards we made this month, if you're interested in the tutorial for that, if you didn't get the tutorial or the kit this month, we both have pay hip stores, and there are links in the comment section or links in the description part of our videos for YouTube. So there are links there that you can click on that'll take you to our pay hip stores, and you can find our tutorials there for prior months. And please, shop in there if there's any tutorial that you want. And of course, reach out to us if you have any questions whatsoever. We're happy to help.
Yeah, yeah. It's just an extra. That way you've got all the measurements in our tutorial. And, whether you say, well, I've already got all that paper and I've already got all that, then yeah, grab the tutorial and have fun because it's got all the measurements and all the step-by-step directions in there. And then you've got this video of us. So
yes. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels. We, of course, are very thankful for that. And that way then, too, you don't miss when we release our next video. We try to do it always on either the 4th Wednesday of the month or the last Wednesday of the month. Depending on the month, we try to do it always the 4th or the last Wednesday of each month. So definitely check us out again.
Yeah, we're glad that you stayed tuned. So
yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, off to out of fall and into Christmas, and we'll be ready to go next month.
Sounds great. I'm ready.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.